Before wires ruled the world, before switches and screens, people were already solving problems with brutal efficiency. Not guesses, not myths, real systems that heated cities, moved water uphill, kept food fresh, told time, and powered industries. No electricity, no silicon, just physics, patience, and, well, frighteningly sharp thinking. These medieval technologies didn't just work. They worked so well that some are still standing, still functional, and still quietly mocking our throwaway modern systems. Welcome back to Ancient Roots Uncovered. Let's get straight into it. So, medieval watermills, they actually powered entire economies. Long before factories ever hummed with electricity, it was really the rivers that did all the heavy lifting. But, you see, medieval watermills were hardly just simple grain grinders. By the 12th century, these clever inventions powered sawmills, textile fulling, metal hammering, oil pressing, and even paper production. Just think about it. One mill could replace dozens of human labourers working non-stop. In some parts of Europe, entire towns were, well, economically structured around a single watermill. The genius was in control. Adjustable sluice gates regulated speed, Gearing systems multiplied force. Some mills ran day and night for centuries with minimal repairs. This wasn't primitive tech. It was industrial power, just powered by gravity. Hypocaust heating that warmed stone buildings evenly. Medieval builders inherited and refined a heating system that, honestly, still puts modern radiators to shame. So, the hypocaust worked by channeling hot air from a furnace under raised floors and through hollow walls. Heat would rise gently and evenly, warming those massive stone structures without a trace of smoke or fire indoors. Monasteries, bathhouses and castles all used this system to stay livable during those, brutal winters. Some systems managed to maintain stable indoor temperatures, even when it was freezing outside. No electricity, no moving parts. Just airflow, thermal mass and, well, smart design. Mechanical clocks that, well, conquered time itself. Before medieval mechanical clocks, time was local, vague, and honestly, pretty flexible. Then came gear-driven clocks, powered by falling weights. By the 14th century, these machines rang bells, tracked hours, and, synchronized entire cities. Some clocks ran continuously for decades with nothing more than a bit of rewinding. The precision achieved using wooden gears, iron teeth and gravity, well, it really laid the foundation for modern engineering. This wasn't just about timekeeping, It changed work schedules, religious life, trade, and even the social order. Time became something you could actually hear. Windmills that drained land and shaped nations. Now, that's quite something. Medieval windmills did more than just grind grain. In low-lying regions, they drained swamps, reclaimed farmland, and controlled flooding. A single windmill could move thousands of litres of water per hour, using nothing but rotating sails and internal gearing. Rather impressive, isn't it? These systems allowed permanent settlement in areas that were once, completely uninhabitable. The design adapted to wind direction, speed, and even seasonal changes. This wasn't just luck, honestly. It was aerodynamic engineering, centuries before modern science even gave it a name. Gravity-fed water systems that ran non-stop, day and night. Medieval cities, well, they mastered gravity with a sort of terrifying confidence. Aqueducts, stone channels, and lead or ceramic pipes delivered fresh water across kilometres without pumps. Elevation did all the work. Some systems supplied fountains, public baths, and private homes simultaneously. Flow rates were calculated precisely to prevent stagnation or overflow. In many places, these systems ran continuously for hundreds of years. When modern plumbing fails, gravity systems often still function. Medieval refrigeration using ice and insulation. Cold storage didn't begin with electricity. Ice houses were built partially underground, insulated with straw, sawdust, and stone. Winter ice was harvested from lakes, compacted, and stored to last through summer. These structures preserved meat, dairy, medicine, and even ice for wealthy households months later. Some ice houses, retained usable ice for over half a year. The secret wasn't cold air, actually. It was insulation and controlled airflow. Simple, really, effective, and, well, ruthlessly efficient. Roman concrete, believe it or not, was refined and reused in medieval construction. Medieval builders reused and further refined those old Roman concrete recipes. Recipes that, honestly, modern engineers still struggle to replicate. Mixed with volcanic ash, lime and aggregate, this concrete hardened underwater and, remarkably, resisted cracking for centuries. Medieval ports, bridges and foundations benefited from this inherited knowledge. Structures built with it still stand today, while modern concrete, well, it crumbles in decades. The chemistry worked without electricity, additives or computers. Just experience passed down quietly through generations. Treadwheel cranes that lifted impossible weight. Cathedrals weren't built by miracles. They were built by humans walking inside giant wooden wheels. Treadwheel cranes converted human weight into lifting power, hoisting multi-ton stones dozens of meters high. One or two workers could lift loads that would otherwise require entire teams. These cranes were precise, controllable, and remarkably safe. Some of these remarkable machines, remained operational for centuries and were reused across multiple building projects. No motors, no hydraulics, just leverage and geometry at work. Medieval street lighting? Well, it existed long before power grids. Cities didn't wait around for electricity to light their streets. Oil lamps, tallow lanterns, and clever reflective placement all provided surprisingly functional nighttime illumination. In fact, some cities even mandated that residents hang lanterns outside their homes after dark. Strategic positioning, you see, maximised the spread of light while minimising how much fuel was needed. It wasn't bright, but it worked. Crime dropped, navigation improved. Urban life extended beyond sunset, using nothing but flame and planning. Paper-making mills that fueled knowledge explosions. Medieval paper mills transformed rags into paper using water-powered hammers. This dramatically reduced the cost of books and records. Literacy spread. Bureaucracy expanded. Science accelerated. One mill could produce thousands of sheets per day without electricity. You know, the consistency and durability of medieval paper often surpass modern paper quality. Many manuscripts survive today because of how well this process worked. These technologies weren't accidents. They were, in fact, the result of observation, trial, and, well, brutal problem-solving. Medieval people didn't wait for electricity. They engineered around its absence. And honestly, in many cases, they built systems that outlasted ours. If this opened your eyes even a little, hit subscribe. Share this with someone who thinks history is boring. And stay with Ancient Roots Uncovered, where the past isn't dead. It's just been underestimated.